Our today's topic is ethical business practices. And we have with us the Vice Chairman of the PHP Group, Mr. Mohammed Mohsin. And the PHP Group is a large company in Bangladesh. Their interests are in steel, in manufacturing, in glass, in shipbreaking. They're also in education, I know, and most recently, of course, with their automobile unit. So welcome, Mohsin, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Akbar Bhai. Thank you for bringing me here. I'm honored.
Help us understand the current ethical standards in Bangladesh, which, as we all know, in order for a nation to grow as we are growing in Bangladesh, it is very important for us to have good business practices. Over to you, Mohsin.
See, there are some subjects are there which can be fixed, like just a quick fix, and that works out. But there are some problems which needs to be fixed from the root level. What is ethical? See, I can compare with nudism. Like before, we used to watch TV, only one TV channel, Bangladesh television. We used to watch with family. But when the English movie used to come, whether we used to walk out of the room or our parents used to walk out, right? Because they used to feel uncomfortable there. But nowadays, you see, not only me, my father is sitting there, I'm sitting there, and my son is also sitting there. We are watching all those movies, even worse than those movies, right? So the mindset changed time to time. The people changed. Thinking process has been changed. So this thing changes also. Now, what is the practice going on in Bangladesh? We feel like that is ethical. If you give a bribe, we feel like I have to give, and the people who takes, he thinks it is my demand, it is my right. But this is wrong, actually. If we think about our religion, our belief, these are wrong things to do.
Absolutely.
So we just cannot blame others. We should blame ourselves also, because we are also part of it.
It has become so deeply rooted in our society. Even though our Honorable Prime Minister has time and again categorically stated that corruption at any level will not be tolerated, it is the institutions that have been rooted with this problem for so long that, like you said, it's not going to disappear overnight. But it does create a huge barrier and a challenge for businesses that want to operate in an ethical manner. Would you reflect on that a little bit?
I can give you some examples. Like, we talk about bribery. There's no fixed rate. So I have a budget end of the month or end of the year, how much profit or how much I have to budget, how much I'll spend for the bribery, how much I spend for electric bill, how much, all these things we have to budget, right? But end of the year, when I calculate, I find out all the money I have thought will make profit, but that has gone to the bribery. So there is no, because sometimes I can manage with 50 taka, sometimes I cannot manage even within 5,000 taka. So these things are varies. Another point you just mentioned, that it cannot go overnight. It has to start from the primary level school. The morals has to be taught from the level 1. There's a psychological term called ECD, early childhood development, which means 0 to 5 years old is the base of our brain. That's when our base builds, 0 to 5 years. And that is the time we have to teach them, you have to respect your elders. You have to throw dust in the dustbin. You have to love your country. So those teaching has to start from them. Then after 20 years, we'll get that result. It is hard to do business in Bangladesh. Like you said, level ground is not there, definitely not there. Because when I borrow money from the bank, I pay it off right away, on time. But some people who take money, but they don't pay off, they run away. They take the money out of the country, invest somewhere else, and the worst thing happened. So what happened to them? Nothing. They are taking more loans. They are walking around, and they are getting chance to make their money white also every time when the budget comes, right? We are encouraging the people who is not ethical. So see, he took the money out. He can sell product in cheaper price, but I cannot because I'm giving the money back with interest to the bank. I'm paying off my salary, the labor's working for me, and we're paying tax to the government. In fact, Alhamdulillah, last 4 years we have been in the private sector. We are the largest taxpayer in Bangladesh. So, but what is the result? Nothing. When the banks are in crisis, what they do, they put more interest on me because PSP will give their money back. So charge them more.
Many a times our parents and our environment teaches us that money is God. Money is everything, unfortunately. So when you grow up with that mindset, then you do whatever that it takes for you to make money to get ahead.
My father always tells us, money can buy food, but not appetite. Money can buy medicine, but not cure. Money can buy bed, but not sleep.
The mindset needs to be started from an early childhood, where we teach right from wrong, we teach right ethics to our children. That goes into a much bigger picture, Mohsin, which is parenting. Unfortunately, parenting being the most important task has no training that comes with it. Parenting comes with no training. So everyone does their parenting based on the way they think is right. You know, in 2008 financial crisis that started in America, we saw that the government had to bail out some of the large financial institutions because they were considered too large to fail. So in our country also, we have seen some business houses that have taken out so much loan from the banking institutions that they have become too large to fail. Because if they are allowed to fail, then some of these, the entire financial system could collapse. There is a cost associated with non-performing loans, and that cost is borne by ethical businesses. Those costs are borne by consumers, the small businesses, and sometimes the large businesses that operate within ethical bounds.
The bank is giving money to those people who are already declared. But still banks giving them money, you know why? Just to run the show. So when it's run the show, is only in the papers, right? So they are satisfied. But when you touch the cash, hold the cash and bring it out and tell them to count in front of me, then the things will go wrong. Absolutely. So as long as it's on the paper is okay. The defaulter can default more and more, but it has to stop. We got used to facing all those problems, but inside our heart is always hurting. But how long we gonna go like this? When the change is gonna come?
The price is ultimately paid, has to be paid by someone. And unfortunately, though, good businesses and good borrowers end up paying that price. So the practice that has been going on in Bangladesh, when a loan goes sour, especially if it's a large borrower, then they reschedule. So sometimes lending a helping hand may be okay, but it needs to be time bound. It cannot be indefinite. All you're doing is basically shifting to the future, but the problem is not going away.
We are leaving all the burdens, putting all the dust under the rug. That's what is happening now. And when my son is gonna come, take over this room and start to clean up this room, he'll find everything under the rug. That's what's gonna happen. So it is not fair for us also to living an uncomfortable environment for our next generation.
What else do you see that ails our system?
You see, the pandemic is going on. The COVID-19 has affected not only Bangladesh, all over the world. Our Prime Minister, Madam, has taken very, very right decision on the right time. And I believe that because of her, the highly populated, without any technology, without any medicine, without nothing actually, we are surviving because of her guidelines, her determination, and her motivation. So I believe I must salute her, the things she has done. But the thing, what happened, after she declared she's not into distribution, like the money she allotted for the business community. What happened to those money? Where did it go? Okay, garments industry has a big contribution in our country. I believe that. But how about us? You cannot deny us. If you put all the small industries together, it's a big, huge industry. It's a big, huge investment. It's a big, huge contribution for our country.
We all know that MSMEs play a huge role in Bangladesh, and they represent the bulk of the economy. They represent the bulk of the employment. Relief package at 11 or 12 billion dollars for a country like Bangladesh was indeed very bold. And I commend our Honorable Prime Minister for taking such a bold move. But nevertheless, what I hear you saying is that where we see the problem is in the distribution, in the speed of execution. So that leads to basically institutional inefficiencies, which I have been talking about forever. Bangladesh needs massive institutional reforms.
There is also unethical practices going on. That's why it's happening, right? So the ethics has to come. People have to fix their mindset that, okay, this is right, this is wrong. We have to think, we have to correct our ethics, then the things will happen. You know, the government can change. What will happen? Nothing. Even a little bit worse than this. The thing is, we have to change ourselves. So if we don't change, nothing will change.
Right, absolutely. Like they say, you know, be the change that you want to see in the world, right? Everyone is always pointing fingers at everyone else, saying that, you know, the government should do this, so-and-so should do this, so-and-so.
What I am doing.
Exactly.
What I am doing. Yeah.
Change begins with at home. Change begins with yourself.
It has to start from home. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's why I said this much.
Mohsin, I wish I had more time, but thank you so much for joining us today. I have known you for many years, and every time I have had an interaction with you, it's always been very, very enjoyable. And I have so much respect for your father. So please do give him my regards. With that, I would like to thank you once again and our audience for joining us for this session. And I would, with an invitation for you to join us again next week with our next episode. Stay safe. And with that, I sign off. Bye-bye.